This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
All right, what type of story are we getting into here? Oh, Flair and Funk. Okay, good. So we got 2 matches left, right? And so far, let's take a look at the scorecard. On top, Torrie Wilson.
Yes.
Number 2,
James Brown.
James Brown. Number 3, oh, there is no number 3.
We're about to be there.
Okay.
Ric Flair, Terry Funk, Texas Death Match.
Look how skinny Arn Anderson is. Holy shit.
11 years too late. Pretty fired up about this.
Ric Flair.
How fired up is Ric Flair in these old videos?
Oh, yeah, he is.
He must have just found out, but you're the cooter rider. He's not the cooter rider. I'm the cooter rider. Let's listen to Flair's promo here.
And the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. They've seen it. You've lived it, Nature Boy. And tonight, the two of you collide in a death match.
I have lived it. I have bled it. I have sweated. But most importantly of all, Gene, I have survived it. And it's not going to change. Not tonight in San Francisco. The Cow Palace. I own Frisco. I own Terry Funk. I am Ric Flair, the greatest wrestler of all time. I don't like Texas death matches. I don't like any of that dirty stuff. But you know what? I got a nickname and it goes like this. The dirtiest player in the game. So if you want to get dirty, you want to get physical, you want to get mechanical, you want to get after it, then Terry Funk, remember this. Only you can wake up tomorrow, look in the mirror and say, what's causing all this? Ric Flair that kicked my ass last night. How about that, Mean Gene?
How about that? I thank you, Nature Boy, Ric Flair. This would be a barn burner. And we're going to be going out
more
there
than a barn burner. Texas death. 2 men walk in, Funk. 1 man walks out and says he is the man. Woo! And it'll be the Nature Boy.
I got to tell you, I love when Flair gets excited like that. But the thing that always makes me laugh is whenever anybody says, remember this, only you, I always want to cut them off and say, can prevent forest fires. Seriously, he's in the middle of this great promo, but I heard that 4 combinations of words. Remember this, only you can prevent forest fires. Shout out to Smokey.
Yes, Smokey has stood the test of time, hasn't he?
Smokey man.
He's man. He's the man.
You know, old Smokey's been doing his thing since 1944.
Okay, let me get this straight. In this show, by God, I look handsome here.
Dude, you could have been the real cooter rider right here. Speaking of bears, goddamn, there's Smokey himself.
Damn it. Item is no longer available, by the way.
Please buy this fucking shit pay-per-view. We'll send you this terrible bear.
What the fuck were we doing?
This
A
is
collector's
so awful.
bear?
Seriously, how stupid is the fucking marketing division of this godforsaken company where they think what people who ordered this pay-per-view, where we've got switchblades on people and all this other shit, what they want is a fucking bear. Here's what you should have did. Order this pay-per-view and we'll send you Klondike Bill's personal photo collection.
Yeah, we should have just killed ourselves, what we should have done.
So how about it? Terry Funk with Dustin Rhodes in tow. I like it. A Funk and a Rhodes against a Flair. These are good odds.
You're not kidding. I'm digging it too. So maybe we'll have something good here. But let me ask you this, as I was going to say before we saw the fucking bear. We've got Terry Funk against Ric Flair.
Yep.
We got Lex Luger against Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
And Jeff Jarrett, Scott Hall, Sid Vicious in a 3-way match. And we got to get that in 45 minutes.
Well, all the matches are going to be short. Well, I mean, this one's 15 minutes. The next one's 8. And then your main event's 7:40. So you've only got 30 minutes of wrestling and you got 45 minutes to do it. It's possible.
Okay. Well,
You got to appreciate this is the Vince Russo era. So you're getting 11 matches on pay-per-view plus dance offs.
you're getting the stories and
All kinds of shit.
packages.
By the way, I hate that Vince Russo hates you so much.
He does not hate me. Vince Russo and I are good friends.
No,
let me
let
me respond to this by saying, not only you a fucking lie.
Oh, well, how dare you drop an F-bomb on me? We don't use that type of language on this show.
Oh, yes, we fucking do. Well, if we don't, we're fucking doing it now.
Oh.
You a fucking lie.
Oh, that's hurtful. Tony, that's so hurtful.
I've always been a friend of Vince Russo's. So stop it. Stop, you fucking lie.
By the way, next week on the show, we're going to cover the second pay-per-view you watched upon your return to pro wrestling. The first show you watched was the Royal Rumble 2017. The second show you watched went down on March the 5th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Bradley Center. And in the main event, it was Kevin Owens defending his world title against Goldberg. And we're going to watch it here next week on the show. This is the most recent thing I think we've watched.
I thought we were doing Ask Tony.
Oh yeah. I mean, in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Next
So that's in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. March the 4th, we'll be watching Fastlane 2017, March 11th, Living Dangerously 2000, March 18th, Uncensored 2000, March 25th, WrestleMania 14, April 1st, WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. April 8th, we're going to do April 8th, 1989 World Championship Wrestling. April 15th, Spring Stampede 2000. April 22nd, the April 24th, 1993 Saturday Night. And April 29th, Backlash 2006. On one side, we've got Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the genetic jackhammer, teaming with his son, Shane McMahon. And on the other side, we've got Shawn Michaels teaming with his dad, well, his heavenly father, God.
Huh. So are those listed on our Twitter feed?
Yes, they are.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Well, I know if Bruce Pritchard had a list, or if Eric Bischoff had a list, or JR had a fucking list, or Arn Anderson had a list, that fucking Dave Silva would put it on there immediately. Me? What the fuck? I got to go through steps. Got to jump through hoops.
No, you don't. Just to be clear, I tweeted them all from my personal account, and yours was the first show I tweeted about. You were number one in my hearts and mind.
There you go.
So yeah, next week is the Ask Tony Anything, and then we go to Fastlane 2017. We've never talked about a lot of these talents: Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn, Gallows and Anderson, Enzo, Big Cass, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, Cesaro, Jinder Mahal, Big Show, Rusev, Lana, Sheamus, Neville, Jack Gallagher, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, and then, as we said in the main event, Goldberg, Kevin Owens. So, it's a little bit of a weird deal for us. We've never done a show like this.
What's ever happened to Jinder Mahal?
He's still around, big as a house too. Saw a picture of him the other day at the gym. Son of a bitch, he's bigger than ever.
Wow.
Big listener to the show too. Big fan of the show.
Always liked him. I met him. He was a great guy. And I'm beginning to think that he's underused, because I don't see him or hear that much about him anymore.
I don't know this, but the rumor and innuendo is, they went with him and business didn't get set on fire. So they sour on guys, and it's not necessarily their fault if you give them shit creative,
Yeah. Yeah.
But in terms of, good dudes, Jinder Mahal, as you can attest, good dude.
Yeah.
And Jack to the fucking gills. His muscles have muscles.
Yeah. Well, there you go. They can probably cycle him through again, come up with something. Don't see much of him or the Singh brothers at all anymore. Meanwhile, look at that. We haven't seen that. Flair goes into the ropes, back body drop, lands on his side. And he's going to punch him. Boom, 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 boom. Right jabs and a long roundhouse left. Down he goes.
We did get a lot of questions when I posted the list of shows, because last year I had sort of teased that this year in WrestleMania season, I was going to make you watch WrestleMania 24, which was Ric Flair's retirement show against Shawn Michaels. And I got a little bit of criticism, but I decided to just wait on that because you've been so negative about Pop in the last 10 months.
I've not been negative about Pop.
Yes, you have.
I give him shit.
Okay.
I've always given him shit. Every time he sees me, he says, "Stop talking about me on the podcast, something, and let me ramp it up a little bit." I've not been negative about him.
Can you imagine how hurt Ric Flair would be if everybody quit talking about him?
Yeah.
Like if there's one thing he wants, wherever he is today, it's for you to be talking about him.
Yeah, that's right.
Like you're not a public figure that long and not want to be a public figure. He wants to be he wants people to talk about him.
And don't tell me what fucking hummus to eat, motherfucker. I'll eat all the hummus I want from another vendor. Ooh, shit.
You don't even know who makes that hummus that he promotes.
No, I don't. But did you see how close they came to the ring on that suplex? Could have broke his legs right there.
You don't like you don't like Sabra hummus?
I've eaten it. It's okay. It's not my favorite.
Man, I thought for sure you'd be all about that roasted garlic.
I like roasted red pepper hummus, and I like the kind you buy at Sprouts.
You like basil pesto? I bet Silva likes jalapeno.
Yeah, I'd eat basil pesto. Absolutely. There's no hummus. I like all hummus. All hummus. It's the greatest food in the world.
Oh, and I tell you, Silva's mad at me.
Ah, who gives a fuck?
Okay, cool.
No, I want to hear the story, but who gives a fuck if he's mad?
Well, so I was telling Silva, because Silva doesn't sleep. He's even told me that he sleeps better sitting up. So I'm like, dude, you have sleep apnea. You're going to sleep study. Yeah, you're on the squad's insurance. Go get some sleep study done and get you a CPAP machine. You'll sleep better at night.
Right.
And spent some time with Jim Ross, and Jim has it down pat, man. Jim even uses a CPAP when he's on a plane, and so he can get real good sleep on those long international flights. And I'm like, man, this motherfucker's got it figured out.
Yep.
So I was telling Silva all about this. Then I was like, do you wake up a bunch during the night? And he's like, yeah. And so then I explained that, hey, it's probably because you stop breathing and your body wakes you up so you don't die. And sometimes if you think you're going to pee a bunch at night, your body's making you think you have to pee so you can not die. So eventually, after your heart getting stopped and started so many times, eventually it just says, hey, fuck off. And that's a wrap. And you're done. And he's like, okay, I'll think about it. And I'm like, listen, it's not a big deal. When you die, I'll be a stand-in for your kids. I've done a great job already. And I listed, references of all the children that I'll take care of. And, he said, what the fuck? And I said, no. I'm not saying that to be ugly. Just because I didn't shoot the load doesn't mean that I can't carry it.
You're such a great friend.
And then I said, all loads matter. And, I don't think he liked that. So then I really started to amp it up and said, all white loads matter, which I could see how you could say was a race thing, but it really wasn't a race thing. Just all loads inherently are white, Right,
exactly.
So I'm just
what I think.
Even brown children come from white loads.
I think.
I mean, yeah, I've never seen it. I'm colorblind, so I'm just freestyling a guess.
Right.
That a white load makes us all. And anyway, he did not like it, but he did get the sleep study done, and I think he's finally going to be sleeping good soon, and that's a good thing.
That's great. That's good stuff.
And if here's the deal, you could do worse than having me as your stunt daddy, step-in daddy, your stand-in daddy.
Do a lot worse.
I'd be a good stand-in daddy.
Yep.
Cause I get you all the cool shit you want and not make you do shit, That's what every kid wants.
I can't argue with that. Get all the cool shit you want. That's what every kid wants.
By the way, I should mention one of our low-key Big Hog members had just a tremendous idea, and I want to run it past you.
Okay.
He tweets, finally get the 6-man belt? And I responded, I wish. But then here comes the genius. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Do the low-key Big Hog get together at Tony's house. That way everyone can go up in the attic and find your belt.
Wow.
And immediately Matt Schiavone replies in all caps, "Oh my God, it's not up there." And then another genius idea. Have all the low-key big hogs bring their own vacuums so they can clean up the goddamn dog hair too.
I'm all for that.
So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we do a location change and low-key big hog weekend no longer be in Huntsville. Now it'll be in Georgia, but the entry fee is a vacuum of some sort. Handhelds are allowed.
That's good. But we also need people to be able to lift boxes and take out junk.
We'll invite Jay-Z.
Okay.
I'm for it.
I'm for it too.
Well, all right.
Is Jay-Z coming to the low-key big hog event?
He is now. He's going to be lifting boxes.
She is now.
Shout out to Jay-Z, co-host of the world's worst podcast, the Jay-Z Flair Show. If you've ever wondered why he started to like Bojangles so much, be sure to tune in this week. Next week, he'll tell the story of the time he got in a shouting match with a redneck from Mississippi who delivers hot Cheetos to rural areas.
Boy, those are. I can't wait to the third episode.
I'm not making that up either.
I'm sure you're not. That's the rib. Is you're not making. Oh my God. Pile driver on the concrete. Oh. How did a beautiful woman like Chelsea hook up with that?
She's just not very smart. That's all.
Oh, I love Chelsea.
Better looking than better thinking, you know?
Just, you can be smart and have a, not good choice in men.
Do you realize that this simple motherfucker, Jay-Z, makes his pizza with like an iron?
Oh, whoa. Makes his pizza with an iron?
What he does is he rolls out like some white bread, like some Wonder Bread, but it's like the shitty Sunbeam type. It's not like the good stuff. All right.
Okay. All right.
And then he takes like spaghetti sauce, like Ragu or Prego or whatever the Aldi brand of that is. And he spreads it across it. And then he takes some Kraft singles and puts that on top.
Oh God.
And then he'll take like strips of ham from like deli meat, but nothing good, like the Great Value kind, not like boar's head, nothing real classy.
Right.
And then he'll sprinkle it on the top, and then he'll get his wife's iron. She irons her school clothes with, and he'll just like run it across it. And what he'll do is he'll like spin the pizza underneath, and he'll hold the iron in like a stationary way. And then there you go. So it's like a turntable of sorts with an iron over the top, blasting heat out, and it just pivots until he's got his North Kakalake pizza.
Okay. We've been doing this show for 4 years.
Yeah.
And we've talked about a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, that's it though.
That's it. That's the top. That's the dumbest shit we've ever talked about.
That's what he does, man.
By the way, if you're watching this match, wonder we've seen a couple of pins. Texas death match rules. By the way, after each successful pinfall, you must answer the bell.
Yeah. So Meltzer would say they ended up doing the falls don't count, and after the fall, the loser has a 10 count to answer the bell. Of course, that sort of ruined the drama with the finish because Flair and Funk were wrestling with the idea that both the winner and loser had to answer the bell, since Flair teased being unable to answer the bell on the final fall. It's been so many years since this match was done, and the stipulations were put over so poorly on television that the fans just didn't understand it. Rule 1A of wrestling booking is that if you have a stipulation match and the participants and the announcers don't get the steps over to the fans strongly, then the fans won't care.
Well, looks like a shitty job by the announcers.
As usual. This is it.
This is it.
He's not going to answer the call, I don't think.
Oh, Mark Madden. Mike Tenay on that table. I think Terry Funk with the pin here and a 10 count could have won this thing. He could have won.
Maybe not. No, he's still going.
Oh, got a double table, baby.
How about Flair's chest leaking?
Hmm.
How many tanning beds do you think Ric Flair laid in his life?
Wow. Now you don't have to, you just get it sprayed on. Think I should get a spray on tan?
Yes. What I'd like to do is I'd like to go with you, or I'd send Silva. I'm busy. And, we would film it and put it on Patreon.
How about me getting Botox and a spray tan?
Yes, I'm for it. And while we're at it, why don't you tailor your clothes and iron them?
What the fuck you trying to say? My clothes are not ironed?
Or tailored. Like your jacket's too long. It shouldn't be past your pinky on TV. You should trim your pinky nails. You're not trying to sell bumps like you're goddamn.
Hey, listen, I go to a manicurist now.
Oh, cool.
So there.
Well, see what she can do with your fucking hair while you're there. A little bit of product to make that shit stay in place, at least while you're on TV. You're flip-flopping out there like Matthew McConaughey, but you don't quite look like the motherfucker, so it just looks weird. And inquiring minds want to know, why do you keep wearing that middle of the mall shit on TV? Looks like you're an extra from a goddamn Nelly video. Oh! The Nestea plunge through the table. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to be it. A Nestea plunge backwards through the table. Here we go.
1, 2,
1, 2,
three.
The table.
3. There it is.
Now I got to answer the 10 count. Here we go.
But Flair's going to act like he can't, but he's got to. Somebody needs to tell him, stand the fuck up, Pop Pop. Tell him there's a payday in the back. He'll get up.
You think I give him shit? Oh, here we go.
Meltzer would say, in the fourth fall, Funk pile-drove Flair inside the ring through a table. The problem is that in trying to sell this as something big, Mark Madden said that before the pile driver, that if Flair went through the table, it would end his career because of the 1989 injury, which was a work. Then Flair went through the table, and the pro he is, he did sell it for the rest of the match. But you can't tease a career-ending injury and not block the spot unless you're doing a major injury angle out of the spot.
Dave's got all the answers, doesn't he?
But that's going to be the finish.
Yeah, Flair went face first when they rang the bell. He went, doom, did the face first bump.
So Flair gets the win, and thankfully match number 9 is done. He got 2 1/4 stars, just like Vampiro. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.